Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
I pushed it. It took forever. It's okay, Andrew.
Nailed it.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of
Oh no!
Double.
Oh no!
All right,
This is a train wreck.
It's a train wreck right away. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Drew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Andrew. Is that what he sounds like? No,
that's a little bit. You need to put a little southern accent on it, but
I'm Andrew.
there you go. Nailed it. Right there.
Nailed it. All right. So as you guys can probably tell, Andrew is not with us tonight.
R.I.P.
Insert music.
Yep.
But yes, he is a little under the weather. It's not anything crazy. But yes, he's just not feeling the best. So he decided to step back a little bit tonight and get some rest, and hopefully he feels better soon. And we really hope that he'll be here next week, because next week's episode is going to be really fun as well. But this week, we are breaking down the Boba Fett trailer, the Book of Boba Fett. I'm really excited. You guys probably assume, listeners, longtime listeners, someone last week called me a simp for Boba, and so I think you guys
agree.
Yeah. But yeah. But if you watch my breakdown video, my watch video on YouTube, you may already know how I feel about this trailer a little bit. So
I only saw the reaction. I didn't listen to the whole.
You didn't listen to the whole thing. I tried my best not to fully break it down, because that's what this is for. But go watch my first reaction on YouTube. Empire Radio on YouTube. So, but anyways, Jeremiah, how are you?
I'm excited too for the show. So we should just jump right into it, because it's probably be a little shorter episode than normal, but
it's kind of, it always feels a little different when Andrew's not here, or
33% of our team.
It's always this kind of I feel like I'm missing an arm. Like, one of my arms are gone, and I don't know where.
Well,
Jeremiah doesn't feel like that, but it's okay.
No. But so I'm kind of mad though about that, about the trailer, because normally they drop trailers on Tuesdays,
right?
And they did it on Monday. Also, they usually
You're already at work.
Usually drop it at 8 a.m.
And
I can watch stuff like these trailers before work. I leave for work. But it dropped at 9 a.m. And so I didn't even know there was a trailer until I got home. And there's all this Boba Fett stuff. I was like, oh, crap, I missed it.
I was going to say, no, none of your employees, no one told you about it?
Nobody cares about that stuff at my work.
Oh, GG.
So
I walked into work, and like the first thing someone said to me, did you watch the trailer? And I was like, for what? And they're like, Boba Fett. I was like, I should have called in sick today. I was like, no, I can't watch it till I get home after everything I had to do yesterday, and then put out video, and so it was very hard for me, unlike you, to stay off of social media, everything, and you can't even go on Instagram without seeing like a Star Wars thing with like half the trailer on the reel, and it's just like, you just have to like dodge the whole, put my phone away all day kind of thing. But I did it. It wasn't too hard, but yeah, I did. And no, Andrew does not have the Cove chat.
Nope.
He's just a little under the weather, but he's fine. He's nothing major. Well, Jeremiah, do you want to do your overall thoughts, and then I'll tell you mine?
Sure. So So it was just like it was more of a teaser than like because it says
Yeah.
official trailer, but it was more
And
like a teaser
it didn't feel like that at all. But
because it was under 2 minutes and stuff. But I think what we got was all we needed because it's only 6 episodes. I think I heard, and so
6
can't
episodes.
yeah. So it's just
That's
a
only
short
two less than Boba or Mandalorian. So
right. So it's still gonna be. Well, I think a lot of the trailer is probably just it might all be from the first episode.
that's what a lot of people are speculating.
Maybe a second into the second episode, but um, I'm intrigued by this just because you're gonna see um a more we're gonna how do I explain it? We're gonna like see who true Boba Fett is because we haven't seen that yet. So because we've seen him in The Mandalorian, but that's just kind of more of a
Paying a debt kind of thing.
yeah type of thing. So it's like it's not we don't really get to know who he is. We just kind of see kind of what he's doing at that moment, and so this is like decades of him preparing to be someone. It's kind of like in the Clone Wars when we see young Boba, like he wants like a lot of power. He's gaining people like on his group or whatever and all that. And so here he's like really stretching his legs, and he's gonna be like, "This is what I've been planning my whole life for, to be like an underground crime lord, crime boss, whatever you want to call it." And so it's interesting that it's going to go in that direction. And so I just think it's interesting. I really like the trailer, like the music. I was like, man, this Boba Fett theme is really starting to go up my ranks on it. So on my favorite themes in Star Wars. So I don't know. I'm excited. It's going to be an interesting take. And it's since it's a teaser trailer, there's not a lot to go off of. We just kind of know the general direction to start with. But if we only saw stuff from the first episode, maybe scenes from the second episode, there could be tons of stuff. They could go to Mustafar, they could go to anywhere. So
well, like so I'll just my overall thoughts. For a trailer, I thought it was pretty weak.
What?
Yeah, I think because I mean if you compare it to like Mandalorian season 2 trailer, it feels like a trailer, right? Like it's like a bunch of different parts of a bunch of episodes kind of sliced together. We can break it down like, all right, what are we seeing in this scene? You know, like what are we seeing here? And this just felt like they're just one in an office or two like just on Tatooine. Like there's like nothing like super different or crazy, which I thought was kind of it seemed a little like they did it quick. I don't know if you felt like that, Jeremiah, but
I just don't think that there's a lot for them to
show that's different.
Yeah,
well, that's a worrisome though, wouldn't that be?
No, because if it's only from the first episode, you don't.
Well, but that's why I see. That's why I'm saying it kind of seems like a little, forced. Not pun intended, but you know what I mean. Like it seems like they're like, oh shoot, we need to put out a trailer to get hype around this thing, but we don't have enough of it done. So let's just
it's all done. It's all done.
That's what I feel like. It just feels very like. Also, and I didn't really like the words in between the scenes. I thought it took away from the trailer itself.
But that's every trailer though.
Not like that.
All trailers have those like that. You just don't realize them because I don't read those words usually until
I don't either until like the third time in.
Yeah,
but but if you watch like the Mandalorian season 2 trailer, it wasn't like that at all.
I don't even remember the trailer at all. So,
bro, you got to go back and watch it because it's so good. Because you remember you get the armor in the background voice overing the whole situation, and then they they show all the scenes. I just thought it was a really smooth trailer. This one just seems like it's like you said, like it's definitely felt like we're just watching episode 1, and maybe it could not be, but it kind of felt like it. And I mean, I'm excited for it. There's some parts of it that we're gonna highlight throughout this that I'm going to enjoy and really like, but there's also parts of it that I'm like, it just seemed like trailer didn't seem like it was all put together, and it seemed a little rushed in my opinion. But I'm breaking it down as like a trailer, like not any Like, I don't hate on the show or anything, but
Okay. So,
what did Andrew think?
what did Andrew think? So, Andrew did send us not just a little blurb. This is like
It's
a
like a book.
novel that he sent. So now I gotta read this for you. So,
And typically he would have just done a voicemail call-in thing, and we would have been able to play it. But his throat is literally shot, so that's why he's making Jeremiah read what his thoughts are.
so this is gonna be kind of more like of a not just the first overall impressions, but more kind of some of the smaller details of the thing. But that's fine because we'll just jump into that after ourselves. So
Yeah.
He says, "Hey everyone, I wanted to start by saying that I'm going to miss you all tonight. I woke up feeling like the backside of a hairless bantha, and I didn't think anyone would want to hear me croak for an hour and a half. Anyways, my overall impressions of the trailer. I loved it. There's something about seeing Star Wars in live action again that just gets me excited to wake up on Fridays and binge the new episode, you know? Tamora Morrison looks great, and I'm excited to see him back into the character after all these long years. Now, I know some people have been a little disappointed. I'm looking at you, Drew, because it seems as if it's going to be a mafia show set in space, or because Boba Fett seems out of character. It's interesting because after reading 2 of the 3 War of the Bounty Hunter Legends books, it's
Word
actually
flex.
not that far off. It's not that far fetched. There are some major differences in the storylines, but he seems like the version of Boba Fett to me after watching the trailer. I also think it's cool that we're seeing him looking better physically than he did in Mando. It seems
True.
he's been slowly healing from his time in the Sarlacc pit, a recovery also covered in those novels, and I'd absolutely love to get a glimpse or at least retelling of how he survived. I'm also really excited to see more of Jabba's palace and from a different perspective. Sure, we see some in Return of the Jedi and in Battlefront, but it looks like we've get a lot more of it that we haven't actually seen yet. In the novels, there's a bounty hunters guild led by Kardosk, Bosk's father, then Bosk himself. I have no idea who the Trandoshans were in the trailer, but it would be really cool to see them represent a guild of some sort and get a little more story on them. We barely know anything about Bosk in canon, and it would be cool to get to know bounty hunters like him through this series. Either way, Boba would have to bring the bounty hunters to the table if he wanted to secure a hold on the underworld. This leads me to what I'm most excited to see. Boba take control of the underworld like Maul did years before. While he says he wants to rule with respect, I feel that there would be a serious consequence if someone was being disrespectful. I think he's going to do a fantastic job playing that sort of anti-hero, and I think that if anyone is fit to rule that way, it would be someone like him for sure. It really reminds me of how his character portrayed in the EU, but I'll not go off on that tangent. Ha ha. Anyway, I know I'd have more thoughts and opinions if I was live on air, but that's a good summary of the key points. This show looks like a great balance of drama and action, and I'm pumped. I'm excited to be back with you next week, but until then, may the force be with you.
Always. All right, guys. That was good. No, I'm just kidding. But, well, sounds like he's mad at me, so there's something. But
yeah, so that's cool that because this is stuff that's been covered in EU books before. So,
yeah, it seems like because one of the things, I mean, he'll break down. One of the things that was kind of shocking for me too in the trailer, that the concept that they're going with like mafia / Game of Thrones ish feel. It kind of has like that feel to it. And like at first, when I first originally watched the trailer, you guys can go see the breakdown or the reaction. It kind of like pushed put me back a little bit because like every version of Boba that we've gotten before this, it's not really that feel. You know what I mean? Like one, it kind of like seemed like he's trying to be a nicer ruler, like into the end part of the trailer, like the first beginning words and stuff. It seemed like he's like, I'm no longer a bounty hunter. I want to rule this with respect, and like we could rule the world together, the galaxy, yay. Like I don't know, he kind of seemed a little like not as tough in a sense, or
Well,
not as like a, what's that word when, like Batman, what's that?
vigilante.
Yeah, he didn't really feel like that to me. He almost felt like he was almost more the good side until the end of the trailer where he literally pounded someone's head in for knocking over his helmet.
Well, so obviously the dialogue in the trailer is just cut snippets, but I think when
Yeah.
he says, I am not a bounty hunter, I think he's going to follow that and say, I am a Mandalorian.
Ooh.
And that's why he's going to lead with respect, because he's, I think
that's a
his
cool
time,
take.
I think his time with Din Djarin and Bo-Katan and whatever, I think it kind of reminded him of his roots. And so I think he's going to tap into that as.
And those are roots that he never really got before too. You know what I mean? Like he's never really been like attached to the Mandalorian people that much.
But we don't
That
really know. So like,
yeah. Well,
it will be explained. I'm sure
yeah.
we'll get that in the show, but because I think the show is going to have a lot of flashbacks, and so I think
That'd be sick.
We're gonna see a lot of his, not backstory, but like the progression of why he wants to lead with respect and be a crime lord with leading with respect. So I think it's tapping into his Mandalorian heritage. That's why he says, I am not a bounty hunter.
And in the chat said that Jar Jar is going to make a huge cameo, and I hope not. But
I think it would be super. I was actually thinking of this. It would be super funny even if it's in this show or some other show, live action, that we see like someone in a black cloak, hooded cloak, and it turns around like, who's this guy? And he takes it, Misa, da, da, da. And so it's like just a joke that he's Darth Jar Jar. I think it would be funny if
that would be cool
if Disney did that.
I'd be down, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But
yeah, so
yeah, I think I'm excited to see the way they're gonna go, and like a lot of people in the chat's already said tonight too. It'd be cool if we get a flashback to how he escaped the Sarlacc pit. I think that's what.
I think we'll definitely get that.
Definitely, I hope we
100%.
Oh wow! You
100%.
guys hear it first.
Heard it
here first. Jeremiah's putting all his monies, all of his.
Well, what's the wager if we don't? What's the bet? I bet that if it's not in there, what should I do?
If it's not in there, then you have to drink Wesley Andrews. If it is in there, I'll eat this chip on air. How about that?
Okay, that's not. It's like 100% sure that you're gonna do that. Like you're not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Because that's what everyone wants to know.
Because no, everyone wants to know that, but
it's like because the first question that we had in the season, season 2 with the Cobb Vanth or whatever was wearing the armor, was like, how did this get out of there? How did he find it? Like, where did Boba Fett go? And then we see Boba at the end of the episode.
That's been everyone's question since the 80s. So yeah. I mean, I would hope they could answer it. It would just be kind of crazy if they just don't even mention it at all, or they just talk about it. It's just really interesting to me from the span of when he got out of the Sarlacc pit. Somehow his armor got out either first or around the same time. Somehow Cobb Vanth got that right after the Empire lost, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's all we know. But it took him how long? Like 5 years to get his armor back. Right?
Right.
And for me, it's kind of interesting that he's been on Tatooine that long. And as soon as he got his armor back and he hung out with other Mandalorians. Now he's like, all right, I'm gonna go back to Tatooine and take over this underbelly. When if he would have just got out, got his armor, and gone and done that right away, it'd have been a really different. Like it would have been a lot quicker. But
Well, I think part of it has to do with
his
healing process because
mm,
in this trailer he looks way better than he did last season, like or in Mandalorian season 2, because he was looking rough, but now he looks like he's done a lot of healing. And
well, and I mean, as an actor, he physically looks like he's way more in shape as well. Because there is like,
possibly,
though there is some, I think it was like an interview or something like that, or like a picture, and I saw of him, and he like lost a lot of weight, and he's like working out to try to like he wants to do a lot of the stunts himself instead of having doubles.
right?
So, because I mean, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, you guys can tell in what is that episode?
5
Five?
or 6,
I think 5.
something like that.
You could tell when it's him and when it's not him, pretty much. That's
Yeah.
all I can say. But yeah.
But so maybe because I'm assuming he spends time with some Tusken Raiders.
Yeah. Before that.
Because there's that scene when you see some Tusken Raiders just like walking, like
Walking
in a
up.
storm,
Yeah.
which is weird because I thought they walk in single file, but apparently not all the time. But like, I wonder if that's like them, if that's a flashback of when he's getting out and they find him, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he has one of their, like in Mandalorian, he has one of their stick things. So
Yeah. Clubs.
So he's clearly been in contact
Either with
them.
them or he's killed them, like
Right.
Anakin. Maybe he heard the long tale about Anakin Skywalker and he mimicked it.
Yeah. So, I think a lot of it has to, the reason why he didn't get the armor back right away was because he was clearly in recovery mode, and he probably had to find where it went because he probably didn't know right away that Cobb Vanth had it. So he probably discovered that he had it years later.
True, and also we don't know if he actually got out the same time the armor got out. We don't know if he took off his arm. Like, we don't know how it happened. I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, that time gap is so intense. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Or hopefully we find out. I would like to know.
But anyway, just more details. So, there's this big city that we see, and so some people are saying that it's the capital of Tatooine.
Yeah, that's what people were saying when I was watching it yesterday. That it's still Tatooine, which I'm like, if it's Tatooine, we've never seen that, but okay, could be.
Well, it's on a different side of the planet, so it's a big planet. So it's the capital. It's sort of like a B or something like that, Bestine or something. But someone in the chat looked that up, and so that's interesting. And then we have this Ithorian who is probably like the mayor or
the governor or president or
whatever. Which
king.
Okay, I don't know if anyone else noticed this or thought this, but that Ithorian with the translator sounds exactly like Din Djarin. Like the whole time when he's talking, I'm like,
well, do we know it's
like
him
Pedro.
though?
What?
Do we know that is him?
The alien?
That was actually speaking?
Who?
The Ithorian.
Yeah.
Are we just assuming that because that's where it cuts?
No, because it says Alien 1 with the subtitles, and
I didn't read the subtitles,
and you can hear his actual alien voice underneath the translation. Because the Ithorians always have that.
Yeah. That's why, but I didn't hear that. But yeah, I believe you. Yeah, I was just like, what if they're like trying to? Because it did sound like Din Djarin to me as well.
So that was weird. So I kind of took me out of it a little bit when I was watching it because
it was an interesting transition choice. That's for sure.
Right.
But
I thought it was so, but some think or theorizing that this person is the Ithorian from Galaxy's Edge, who is like a collector or something.
the it doesn't look the same unless it's like way later, which I mean probably would be
Well,
way later
doesn't
because technically
Galaxy's
Galaxy's Edge is during the First Order.
like during the or the sequel trilogy or
Yeah,
post
that's like
trilogy?
during it because
Right.
like Han lands there and stuff like that. But
Right.
that's somewhere in between there. So yeah, I guess technically it could be. That'd be interesting because it would tie even more Galaxy's Edge to the world that we know, and maybe they'll switch instead of being so focused on the First Order and stuff. Maybe we could get them to focus on the Mandalorian show as characters in the parks and stuff. That would be way cooler, and that'd be amazing. So I think they should do that.
But I think that this President Ithorian or whoever it is might be kind of like the I don't want to say villain really, but like the person who's opposing Boba Fett.
He's fighting back against, like,
'Cause
it seems like he's took over Jabba's like full power in Tatooine potentially.
No, I don't think that because
You don't think that?
he says the trailer says like you took over your former employer's seat or something like that, right?
Mhm.
And so it's like he knows that there was a fall of Jabba, and we know that Bib Fortuna took over.
For Jabba for a while,
Well,
for at
took
least
over 'cause-
5 years,
something like that. So
and he got big. Why he
got
took over.
took eating too much dead peanut butter or something, right?
Mm.
Right, Drew.
Those bib, that was bib for tuna butter or whatever. Yeah,
But so I don't know. I think that character could be just the opposition to Boba in some way. But I don't know.
yeah. I think it seems like potentially, I don't know who else would, like, what would be the big bag except for other crime syndicates that he's trying to work with that choose not to work with him or like choose to fight back, because it almost seems like maybe like this season, or I don't know if we're gonna get more than one season. I kind of feel like we're not, but
Right.
could
I
be
don't think we
wrong.
will.
But if it is just one off, like, it seems like there's going to be some. He's going to try to take over Tatooine and then move to other planets, hopefully. If not, if it's just on Tatooine, him just trying to rule Tatooine as the new Jabba in a sense, like, I guess, like,
But
be
Jabba wasn't.
interesting.
That was just where he lived. Like he still
No,
was
I
doing stuff all
know.
on the whole outer rim. So
Yeah, but if the other guy that's opposing him is on Tatooine, then it's not going to take us out. You know what I mean? Like, if that guy's actually, if this is Tatooine and he is a different leader on Tatooine, if that is the big bad and that's who he's gonna have issues with, then we're never gonna leave Tatooine in 6 episodes. Is that a possibility?
well, if that president or whatever is making connections with the New Republic or something,
Mhm.
like the New Republic could be opposition to Boba
Push
Fett,
back a little bit.
but because it's in the outer rim, so it's hard to say what is and isn't going to happen out there because there's bigger things to worry about after the fall of the Empire for the New
Correct.
Republic. So
And there's other planets that need intending to than little sandy Tatooine.
right, and
So,
so I don't know. I think we'll have to see, obviously.
well, yeah, obviously, but do you want to do a more little breakdown or just keep jumping around like this?
I don't know. There's not really much else to really say.
Yeah.
Well, I think then there's that shot of the Twi'leks, and so the one looks like this has regular skin color, like human skin color, which is weird. We've never seen that before. I don't think it's a normal human skin color, like white skin color.
More
I
like,
don't think
yeah.
we've ever seen that before. So like she's gonna be, I think, a major role because that's one of the few people that actually gets a face shot. Because everyone else is just like general like Trandoshans or whatever that are just gonna be general characters, but she
Could
seems like
be a
she's
potential love interest with Boba.
maybe, or maybe it's like the queen and the Thorian is the king or something type of thing, the first lady or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, be interesting.
Did you see everyone thinks that Obi-Wan is walking in the background during that scene?
No.
So like it could be like a flashback. And
Oh.
there's a old guy looks like Alec McGinnis, just walking in the back with like a dark cloak and everything. And I was like, oh, is that Obi-Wan Kenobi? Like, but whatever.
It's a little stretch, but I guess I'm really excited to see Bosk, and if that is his father, that'd be really cool to see how that works, and like what is Bosk's role now in the galaxy too, because I guess he's still a bounty hunter. It doesn't seem like it as much. Like he seems more like he has like a similar kind of feel, like a similar kind of role as Boba, like he's trying to do something else and have a little bit more control over certain people, or maybe he has his own bounty hunter guild that he runs and stuff like that. It's really interesting. Do you think we'll see IG-88?
I think we'll see a bunch of bounty hunters. We might see Dengar. We might
Dengar
see
would be cool.
who, spoiler alert, sent
Ooh.
us a voicemail tonight. So
Yes.
maybe he's gonna give us a little behind the scenes of like maybe
Sure.
he's in the series or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we could see IG-88. That'd be cool. Which I don't know but then also we got IG-11 and the Mandalorian, so it'd be kind of weird to see the same. Or everyone who's just kind of like a casual fan won't know like
The difference.
like I thought he died. Like what's going on?
What's a different name? I don't know.
I don't know. But
well, before we talk any more about this trailer, I think we should hear a word from one of our sponsors of today's episode, Cufflinks.
Cufflinks.com?
Cufflinks.com. So
all right, well,
let's take a listen, and maybe I won't click it more than once.
Yeah, and if you're missing Andrew's voice, this is going to be his
Here he is.
Here's
voice. A little cameo right here.
What's up, everyone? Andrew here with a word from the sponsor of today's episode, Cufflinks.com. If you didn't know, Cufflinks.com is the premium accessories marketplace, and they offer a wide range of products, including but not limited to ties, cufflinks, jewelry, and much more. The awesome thing about Cufflinks.com is that they've partnered with popular brands like Star Wars to bring you exclusive, officially licensed products. Their products are designed in a way that's great looking and fun, which means you can support your favorite fandom and look good doing it. Want to snag something awesome for yourself or someone else? Try using the code EMPIRE20, that's with a capital E and no space at checkout, to receive 20% off your next order with no minimum purchase. Still not convinced? Well, Cufflinks.com offers outstanding customer service, 1 to 5 day delivery anywhere in the United States, and free shipping on all orders over $100. Want to feel like 1,000,000 credits in your next outfit? Head on over to Cufflinks.com.
1,000,000 credits. Do you want to feel like 1,000,000 credits? Because I do. So go check out cufflinks.com and make sure you use the code over there, and it would help us out as a podcast, and you'll get something really cool. And the holidays is like literally here. Like my wife already skipped Thanksgiving and she wants to go buy a tree and just go.
Are you guys
straight
gonna
in.
have a real tree or a fake tree?
Fake. Because don't.
Because what?
Because I already have to deal with like my dog's hair. I don't want to deal with like stuff falling, and it's a fire hazard, you know.
Oh gosh, whatever.
I don't know.
We always had real trees when I grew up in our house.
I mean, we did too. We used to go and like cut them and all that fun stuff, but no, we're gonna go super fake. But yeah, are you? Well, you have your Christmas tree too.
I have my peanuts tree.
Yes. But yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so well, in the beginning of the trailer, we saw the spider droid thing.
Droid. Yep. Do you know what
Yeah.
that's? Do you
It's
recognize it?
well, one, it was in episode 6 when R2 and C3PO went to Jabba's palace and was in the corner and it scared C3PO. But it's also, if you didn't know,
I
they're
probably do know.
monks. Do you know?
The brains of the monks.
The brains of monks. So if you guys are
Because-
listening,
Because
what-
Jabba's palace used to be a monastery.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so these monks would to separate themselves from their evil bodies and flesh.
Fully be monks, which is kind of interesting.
They just put their mind in some water and hook it up to a spider.
Yeah. Kind of
So-
cool. So I read about that this week or yesterday, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to bring it up, but you already knew about that. So.
Yeah, I heard someone else talked about it on their reaction channel. So
Oh, that's all. But I thought it was really cool, and I thought you listeners, you guys didn't know that. It's really cool. Do you remember the names of the monks?
No.
Yeah, I forgot to. Andrew probably would know. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool, interesting.
I feel like
thing.
that's all we're gonna see in the show is just them
That-
walking by and going in. Like
Yeah, that one thing. But also, I never watching it growing up. I never realized there were actually like droids. Like I thought it was like a spider. Like,
oh really?
and that little scene that we got in episode 6 when he scared like C3PO, I thought it was a spider, like a giant spider that was in the background and was gross, and I never realized like, and who knows, like that concept of what it was could have came up later, but I thought it was a really interesting tidbit about Jabba's palace, and like Andrew did say, I'm also really intrigued to spend more time in the palace itself.
Right.
Like we did get some content, but it was like one room, and the Battlefront game, like how accurate is that? We don't really know. Like
Yeah, it just basically showed like the scenes that we see in the movie and just kind of add hallways and random rooms. Like,
yeah.
But I thought it was really cool when
you
they
could
were
go
like,
underneath it.
they were like on the top looking out, like in the
Yeah.
trailer. I thought that was cool, like a little. That was pretty cool.
Assuming that is Jabba's palace, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I'm really intrigued with the whole concept of Boba. I think having him back as the main role too is gonna bring the character to like real life, like, and I just hope, for me, I hope he does. I think he'll do the character justice. I hope the writing is there, which, I mean, it is Dave Filoni,
Well,
so it should be. But
No, it's not Dave Filoni. Who's the director? It's someone we know already did stuff for Mando or something, I thought.
oh, really? It's not John Favreau, and are they overseeing it still?
Well, they're probably involved, but who's directing it? Well, we know. Okay, well, the same composer for Mandalorian is
Yes,
Ludwig. He's doing the same music.
which he's a beast. The music in the trailer was so lit.
So
I'm excited for that.
John Favreau and Dave Filoni and Robert Rodriguez,
Okay,
they're executive producers along with Kathleen Kennedy.
yeah, could have left her name out of that.
Oh
but,
gosh, get over it. I thought it was like that Deborah Cho chick. Was that her that was directing it?
Oh, isn't she doing?
Or what other thing was she directing? I forget.
She's doing something. I know that. Was she doing the Endor? The Cassian Endor? Was that Deborah Tro? Maybe not.
Well, it looks like it's gonna be mainly that Rodriguez guy that's gonna be directing.
Okay. So what is she directing then? It's probably something that got canned.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Oh, she's doing the Obi-Wan series.
Oh,
That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah.
is.
So
Which
I
I am.
she's gonna do good. Like I like the stuff that she did in The Mandalorian. So I have
Yes,
full
you're doing
faith that she can get it done.
Oh yeah, for sure. She was really good in the Mandalorian, and I'm really excited for the Obi-Wan stuff too. But yeah, I did not realize that the Boba Fett is only a little 6 episode show.
So the question is then, how is this gonna fit into the bigger Star Wars
line.
picture? So like, because there's the whole like the Mandoverse that everyone's talking about, where it's all the Ahsoka stuff, all of the Mandalorian stuff,
Tying clones and rebels,
and with well, they had the Rangers show, which I don't know is up in the air or canceled or whatever, but like I want to think that it's going to add to the bigger story, having a lot of connections, because I think if there's because we know that the Ahsoka series is going to be focused on Thrawn.
mm-hmm.
I feel like there's like Thrawn is out there doing work with his own crime lord stuff or something, and Boba Fett's going to somehow get wind of Thrawn, whether it's just in reference or some like there's going to be some kind of reference to there's someone else out there doing crime lord stuff, and I feel like it could be Thrawn doing stuff because like he's
cool.
Because he disappeared like less than a year before A New Hope, and so it's been like 9 years.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been like over 9 years.
Trying to find him, and he did still have a little connections with the Empire through that too. Apparently, because that one girl who designed all those weapons in episode 5 or 6 of season 2 with the Ahsoka, she knew where Thrawn was.
Right.
So
and she was like a
kind of seemed like she was her own crime syndicate. Like she
Right.
went to planets and ruined the planets and left, and
it exploited for resources, and
she was just not a good person. And so
yeah.
So I do think Ahsoka killed her.
No.
Well,
but I think there will be a connection to the Ahsoka series in one way or another.
Also, how soon after season 2 what is this? You think it's like right away?
Well, yeah, I think it just picks up.
Because
I think after the events of episode 2 or season 2 finale, Fennec would have went back up with Boba right after because she's in debt to him, and I think the end credit scene was just right after when they go take over.
This is so interesting because like in that room they left us with a cliffhanger, right? Like we don't know what's happening in that room after that situation. You got Moff on the ground, you got Cara Dune's like I want that and now I might have to kill you kind of situation. You know, like we don't know what's going on in that room. Technically, as of right now, all we know is that Din Djarin is technically the leader of Mandalore, right? But what's her name's in that room?
Bo-Katan.
Well, Fennec is in that room.
Well, yeah, I'm saying she just would have left with Boba.
Yeah.
Boba would have just showed up.
I know. I just like
right after.
I just kind of want to know what happened in that room. You know, like it's so like weird that we're gonna get her outside that room without the resolve of that room, unless that would be really crazy if they resolve that room scene. And that's like episode 1, and then it's but it's not gonna be like that.
No. So I'm assuming it could pick up of them as like on a Slave 1 leaving that ship.
Yeah.
And then going straight to Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I'm just really curious in seeing how that's gonna end up. But yeah, so we know that we also kind of know too, if you look at the helmet of Boba Fett, it's not as smooth as it was in that last episode. Like it already looks like he's been battered and beat up. So there's been some fights and it's already scraping off his helmet already. Like, So it's been a hot minute. Technically, it could be like maybe like a couple months or a month after the
Possibly,
end
yeah.
of season 2, or they show us how his stuff gets all jacked up. That's
Yeah.
potentially, but
I'm really also hoping that Omega is in the show.
that would be way cool.
Like, honestly, like if they just had like a blonde 40-year-old some odd woman, like that's like a bounty hunter or something, show up.
She's part of the council or something.
Like she doesn't even have to have. They don't have to do a name drop or anything. Like
just have her there, and she has to kind of look like them.
Yeah. So obviously, if she does show up, then it kind of ruins her fate in Bad Batch, because then we know she doesn't die.
But we know they're not gonna kill a child.
Okay, what about Master Skywalker? There's too many of them.
That's
what
a movie. This is a cartoon.
This is a live action show.
No.
So,
yeah, I'm saying, but like the cartoon, the Bad Batch, like they're not gonna.
Yeah, but they killed all kinds of crazy stuff in that. They burn people alive, but
not a main character.
Well, yeah,
Andrew would rage quit Star Wars. He already said that. So
no, he wouldn't.
Oh, he probably wouldn't. But then he tries to act like he would. I would cry if I mean, a lot of people would cry if they see Omega in live action. That'd be so cool.
I just think it'd be cool, and it would just add a lot of, because Boba doesn't know about her.
No.
So as of now, so maybe in Bad Batch, maybe that would happen where they would meet or something.
People, so in the chat they're saying, what if we see a flashback to Cad Bane and Boba, but in live action?
That'd be cool.
They show the dent in that, like they just have like a younger person.
Well, they would have to do a Daniel Logan.
I'm just saying that would be really cool though if they were able to show us that scene in live action, also having Cad Bane in live action, because the same person in the chat was saying like we never would have thought we would have got Cad Bane in the Bad Batch at all. So who knows? Like it's possible, and that would also tie in the Bad Batch to the more of the live action stuff. So I think that would be really cool. And that would also without showing those characters, so we still wouldn't know their fate. So
right,
it'd be kind of cool. But trying to think if there's anything else in that trailer that like stuck out to me that I wanted to break down. They still have the Slave One, so we know he doesn't blow that up, unlike Din Djarin blew up the Razor Crest. So it was positive.
It's not the Slave One
anymore. I was about to say, do you think he's gonna call it the new name in this show?
What is it, the Spitfire, or what is it called? I don't even remember what it is. Some janky Spitfire, Spitball, or what is it?
Spitfire, Hang Loose. Dude, I don't remember the name of it, but
it is Fire Spray.
If he says, "Let's get into this fire spray," that would be rough. So
I don't think they'll ever do a name drop, because they never even call it the Slave One ever before, did they? Like in movies or shows or anything?
And that's a reason why. Not that I know of, they haven't. I could be wrong. Chat, you can correct us if we're wrong right now. But which I also feel like that's another reason why people were kind of frustrated with that, like why they changed the name, because it's like the only time in media that's been named that is like in written media. So it's like it's not really like canon anyways. They could have just left it alone. But
right.
I just think the new name is way worse than the original name, and I really hope they don't just call it that in the middle of it. Like, oh, let's run to it.
Well, unless it'll be funny if like they wouldn't do this, obviously, but like Fennec's like, so wait, what's the name of your ship again? Well, you never told me. It's a fire spray. And she's like, well, that's stupid, or that was funny if they made a jab, like it's not that great of a name.
Yeah, something. Like if they make fun of it themselves.
But like obviously that wouldn't happen because it's Disney. Like they named it that, and it's their show. So like,
Sure. Yeah, that would be cool if he says that, and then Phoenix like under her breath, like, "Well, that's stupid." Oh, but okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, but the View twist was saying that they have not said in canon, so
right.
I don't know. I don't think they'll say it, but it'd be really interesting.
Right.
So, but anything else, Jeremiah?
Well, I was thinking, in that trailer when they're sitting at that table and Boba was talking to him, I bet I know how he got them to really calm down and relax.
Probably some Wesley Andrews coffee.
Some Wesley Andrews coffee or tea. Too,
or tea. It could be the tea.
Yeah. So.
Chill tea. Well, that's kind of funny that you say that because they're also a sponsor of this episode.
Really?
So, So we can, let's dive in and let's hear another word from one of our sponsors today.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
So yeah, make sure you go over and buy some Wesley Andrews coffee. Use our promo code. You do not want to miss out. That 20% is pretty good. And once again, holidays, they're here. You like it or not, they're here. So buy it for Thanksgiving coffee with your fam.
Do you have like Black Friday deals on your?
No, we do Small Business Saturday.
Okay.
So there is different deals that most likely will be online. So you should also go check it out there.
Cool.
Sweet. Well, with that, do you think it's time to maybe hear something from Bosk or any other voicemails?
Sure. How many voicemails do we got tonight? We got 3?
Yes.
3, and then one got submitted late.
2 got submitted a little late, and right now we're gonna apologize. Andrew created the soundboard. Me and Jeremiah have no idea what we're doing over here, so they are not in here because Andrew was not able to edit it again. So I think we have 3 or 4 voicemails, and hopefully we don't hear static. Your live listeners, we apologize if you don't actually hear it, but if you're listening to this in post, you're gonna hear it anyway. So go back and check in post. But anyways, let's fly on over to voicemails, huh?
Yep.
It's voicemail time. It's voicemail time.
All right.
So we got a voicemail here. Real quick, if you guys want to submit voicemails, all those links are in the bios of most of all of our content. So you can go leave us a voicemail. Wherever you're listening to this, you can scroll up and leave us a voicemail there. We would love to hear voicemails from you guys. And like Andrew always says, if we get up to 12, we'll drop everything we're doing in the episode and do a full voicemail Q&A kind of episode. So make sure you guys go send us voicemails because we really want that to happen one of these days. And we already had something planned this week. We pushed it to next week, and it would kind of be funny if we had to push it again because of voicemails. So let's see if that would happen. And I don't think the surprise guest would mind. So anyways, voicemail number 1. Let's hear it.
Hey, Empire Radio. This is Coda.
Coda.
I have a Star Wars question for you. What's your favorite Star Wars bounty hunter and why? Love the podcast and keep doing your amazing work. Hey, Empire Radio, this is
All
Coda.
right, let's play it again. Coda.
Coda.
That's
That's the
awesome.
first time submission
Voicemail.
from her. So
Yeah.
Thanks for sending that in. Favorite bounty hunter, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to go Cad Bane. He's
pretty dope.
He's
I
pretty
love-
cool.
It's like straight from the West. I do like Cad Bane a lot. Obviously, I'm gonna go with Boba Fett. So,
But he's not a bounty hunter though. We just learned that.
right
So
now-
it doesn't count. Sorry.
okay, so in this, but is Din Djarin even a bounty hunter anymore either? He didn't hunt one bounty the whole last season.
Well, he's just being a dad, okay? Now that he got that gimmick of Baby Yoda off his back, now he's free to do whatever he wants. He's
The gimmick of
yeah, I'm over the Grogu gimmick, but
we're gonna probably get it, but yeah.
I'm sure he'll like take a few jobs after and like
like be the rightful ruler of Mandalore kind of job, like
possibly. Well, he needs money, so like
fix the whole planet kind of thing.
You still need money to do that. You can't just show up and.
There's probably a lot of bounties on that planet if they're there, so you could hunt those guys now. But yes, between Din Djarin and Boba Fett, but probably I'm leaning more Boba Fett. But yeah.
But Andrew did submit his.
Oh, did he? His answer?
Answers to these questions. So.
Oh, cool.
To Coda's question, he says IG-88 because he's one of the top bounty hunters in the galaxy, known for his ruthless and efficiency, and he's a droid. So cool.
Well, that's awesome.
But we can't. A good shout out though would be, was it Imbo and his dog, alien dog from Clone Wars?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, was that one like snowboarding down the mountain on his hat?
Yeah.
So he's cool.
We also probably should say Dengar because we're about to hear from him, and if we don't say him, we're gonna get
he'll come looking.
He'll come, whatever. But I like Bosk. I think Bosk is a really cool character too. I'm excited to see him in the Boba Fett show. But all right. Well, speaking of Dengar, let's hear what he has to say. Maybe.
Hello, boys. Guess who? Correct. Dengar here. Listen, I've got some questions for you. Some real deep, soul-searching questions. So, question 1. M&M's or Skittles? Which one's the best? Number 2. Hot dogs or hamburgers? Which one? Which one are you going to choose, boys? And then, finally, a bonus round question. Pepsi or Coca-Cola? Now then, boys, think carefully about these answers. I don't want no wrong answers, because if you do, you know what's going to happen. That's right. Dengar's going to come looking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hello,
Thanks.
boys.
Okay.
Apparently.
Apparently.
You don't know how to use that soundboard over there. I guess it's harder than it looks.
It is. Props to you, Andrew. We miss you. But, yes. So, first question.
M&M's
or Skittles? Skittles.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. So, like... Okay, I'm going to say I like M&M's more than Skittles because I don't like Skittles. But I think M&M's are way overrated.
Well, because I prefer over both of those Reese's Pieces, but that's just me. So, but I like Skittles because I also think M&M's are a little overrated. And hopefully we're both right, or he's going to come looking.
Right.
So we don't want that. So what's the second one?
Oh, but Andrew's answer.
Andrew.
He says M&M's by a landslide.
Okay, well, there's that. Next question was hot dogs or hamburgers.
Yeah.
This is kind of easy.
Yeah. On 3. 1, 2,
2,
3. Hamburgers.
Hamburgers. I almost said hot dogs. This is a trail, but yeah, hamburgers. Heck yeah! What the?
Yeah,
Oh.
hamburgers are way more versatile, and you can do more with it. Filling.
You
And
can do
hot
a lot
dogs-
with a hot dog. Some like
Hot-
Chicago
hot
dogs
dogs-
are cool, but
Hot dogs are just kind of.
they're the.
boring.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
really-
they're like
I-
the cheap fast food. Like they're
Well,
like
I don't like the texture of like regular hot
wiener?
dogs. Like if it's a skin on hot dog, that's different. Like I like old fashioned skin on hot dogs. Like
a brat
ones-
or something like
like
that,
the-
or
no,
or the
a
ones you
brat-
brought me.
the brat is a brat. That's not a hot dog.
Okay.
Hot dogs are, I think, are just like there's the soft mushy ones that you get like that you buy at the store are just kind of lame, but the skin on ones with a little snap on it, those are gonna be better. But
Mhm.
I do like a chili dog though.
Literally, W Twist just said that in the chat. That
Yeah, a chili
chili
dog.
dogs are good though.
Yeah, and I don't need to like pile it on. Just like a little drizzle of chili on there, I think is good.
How if you have a normal hot dog, you have pickles, or I mean, you have not pickles. You have what's the
relish?
pickle relish, mustard, and ketchup. How do you make it?
Maybe just okay. 2 ways. Normally just plain, just nothing on it.
Wow, just a plain
But-
hot dog and
but-
bun.
But if you put some chopped raw onions on there, that's good too.
See, I like mine. Like, I do like onions, but yeah, I like mine. The ketchup has to be on one side, mustard has to be,
Oh gosh.
and then the pickle relish in the middle with some onions on top of that too. That's fire. But I do
See-
prefer burger though over all that stuff. But
Right.
it's just me.
Burgers are just more hearty,
Mhm.
more variety.
Onion rings on the side. Oh yeah, you could do that too.
And Andrew's answer is hamburgers, also by a landslide.
Okay, that was good. But
And then
what's your go-to burger though?
like for like a
like-
restaurant, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, we just had a burger together like 2 weeks ago, but like, let's say you have Five Guys or something. What's your like?
Well, of fast food stuff, I like Wendy's, but Five Guys is pretty good. Culver's burgers are really good.
But
Like,
like, how do you like it? Like, do you like a double burger with cheese? Do you like bacon? Like, if bacon's on the menu, are you adding it to it right away, or?
Baby, like for a burger, lettuce, tomato, raw onion,
Yes.
and then bacon and cheese is fine. Or cheese for sure.
Cheese for sure.
Bacon depends how much extra it is. Like if it's like sometimes they want to do like $2 extra for bacon or something like that. I'm like, oh, screw that.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I would kind of the same with you. Like, but I also like ketchup and mustard, and then sometimes mayonnaise, depending.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I
gross.
don't mind some mayonnaise on a burger. Like a Whopper, I love a Whopper with cheese though. I always have the cheese. I don't understand burgers without cheese. It's just a waste.
I don't like sauces on burgers because I feel like it covers the taste of the patty. So
Mm.
like you don't taste the meat, which is
Depending on who makes it though, you might want the patty to be covered.
I don't know. What's your least favorite fast food burger?
McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah.
Burger King is terrible.
Oh, I love Burger King. A Whopper with cheese.
Burger
that's
King
my
is
go-to
is-
everything.
the grossest.
I love a
thing out
Whopper
there.
with cheese a lot. It's
I
my
haven't
favorite.
had a Whopper or like a Burger King burger in like over 20 years. This is gross.
You heard it here first. I had one like.
But
a couple
Burger
weeks
King,
ago.
if you want to sponsor us,
If you're listening to this, Burger King, one, hire more people so you don't close early, and two, sponsor us. That'd be dope. But all right, last one. Pepsi or Coke, right? Is that what it was?
Yep.
You want to do 1, 2, 3?
Nope, just do yours.
Coke all the way.
It's Pepsi all the way. Sorry.
Okay, well.
But the thing is, I haven't had. Well, most of our fans will know it as soda, but here in Minnesota we call it pop.
You
So I haven't had a can of pop in almost 4 years. So like, but Coke is just disgusting. It's just. It's not that I just prefer Pepsi. I think Coke is just disgusting in flavor. Like if you take like a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, drink half of it, let it sit in the fridge for a couple weeks, open it up and it's all flat, it will taste exactly like Coca-Cola.
Oh hell no!
Yeah,
no.
Coke tastes like old flat Pepsi. That's what it tastes like to me.
I love the burn of Coke going down your throat. It like feels like I'm getting punched in the throat. I love it. But
what?
I do prefer Dr. Pepper over both of those by a landslide. But that's just me. DP all the way. Let's hear what Andrew had to say.
He said Coke is superior.
Yeah, it is for the win. All right,
but he's from the South, so what kind of Coke is that? Pepsi Coke or is that Sprite Coke or is that Mountain Dew Coke?
Fired. Shots fired. He can't fight back.
He can't fight back.
You want to say anything about Honeydew or any other melons? Why he's not here?
Oh yeah, if you guys didn't listen to the post game show on Twitch last week, you missed a
hot conversation.
But you did clip it, and I do have access to that. So someday I'll post it.
Yeah, you need to post that on Instagram or YouTube. It was funny. If you were listening, you can go on Twitch, and it is clipped as a highlight video, so you can go check it out.
Yeah, Andrew personally attacked me because of my enjoyment of non-watermelon melons. So,
and I kind of agree with Andrew, but you have to go watch that video yourself because it was a banger. It was pretty funny. So, all right. So I think we have like one more, maybe 2 more voicemails. I have 2 more buttons to push. Maybe one of them's the end show. I don't think so.
I don't know.
We'll find out together. All right. Let's listen to the next voicemail. Nope, that is our button.
Sorry, folks. We don't know what we're doing over here.
All right, here's the last.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the
David.
owner of this establishment, and I would just like to apologize for the disturbance from last week's poetry night. Unfortunately, TK731 will be unable to join us tonight after losing his life in service to the Empire. I would like to extend my condolences to his loved ones and offer a moment of reflection for his sacrifice. TK731, thank you for your words. A moment of silence for you.
That's it? Or is it still going? That's a long silence.
Is it still playing?
Nope, that was it. He just left it like that. But all right, so that was David apologizing. Well, not David, the owner of the poetry.
I don't know.
Place.
But yes, if you missed last week's Stormtrooper poetry, or was it Stormtrooper haiku? The rebels from Alabama came in and took them out.
Shot up the place.
Yep. So that was a banger of a voicemail too. So
that was pretty funny. But yeah, But yeah, that's all we have for voicemails. Like we said before, there is 2 voicemails that we weren't able to add on, but they will be on next week's episode. So we didn't forget about you. Don't worry. Once again, we do apologize that we weren't able to. As you guys can tell, this episode's been kind of a little.
We're not. This is how thankful we are for Andrew.
Yes.
He does a lot for us, and he runs the soundboard and stuff for the podcast. So,
and maybe I should take lessons before we just do
I should probably do that too, because maybe someday.
Andrew, you're the real, yeah, just you by yourself talking.
You're the real MVP.
Yes, for sure. So this is for you, Andrew.
Oh gosh, no.
Once again, we don't know what we're doing, but yeah. Anyways. Well, Jeremiah, is there anything else you want to add? Probably our socials. We should probably add that before we get yelled at
Yeah.
by Andrew some more. Like he's gonna yell
Yep.
at us a lot, but
So Instagram and Facebook are both at Empire Radio Podcast. And on Instagram there's also a link tree for everything on there for the Discord too, so on that link tree. So make sure you join the Discord too. Every week we're getting more people, so that's always fun.
Yes, I mean we've had a lot more people joining as of late. So make sure if you have not joined the Discord yet, go ahead and do that. It's a banger. It's hard for me to keep up, but I do come in every once in a while and drop a link to a trailer and leave. But I still came through. So
then shout out to I think it was Nicholas who just joined this evening from Germany.
Ooh.
So he always says he always misses the Twitch
Live
because he's sleeping. But
that's fair.
That's cool. We got our more and more international audience. So
yeah, that's awesome. Shout out to you.
What else? We have social media.
Make sure if you guys want to catch these episodes live, make sure you tune into twitch.tv/Empire Radio. If you want to watch this live every Tuesday night around 8 o'clock, you don't want to miss it. It's fun. You get a lot of just us talking in the chat throughout these episodes. Also, we got a lot of post stuff or pre stuff before we actually push record. So there is some content that you guys will get and you'll enjoy before we do it. So, like, again, twitch.tv/Empire Radio for the live version of the podcast.
Yes.
And you can hear all the mess ups before they get edited out. So,
yes.
also really fun.
Yep. And then also on YouTube, Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast. So,
yes.
The live streams are on Twitch, but then I edit the videos for YouTube.
Yes.
And so those are up there usually on Wednesdays because I got to take some time to edit those videos. But the next day on Wednesdays, I usually get those out. And so definitely subscribe on there, comment, subscribe. But also you should keep your eye on our YouTube because pretty soon we're going to be doing product review videos for cufflinks.com. So we'll be reviewing items on there and showing some of the stuff that we got that you can also buy too from Cufflinks. And so that's exciting. So I've been working really hard on my crazy video that I'm making. It's a banger. This video is going to be like just a few minutes long, but I've put in a lot of hours.
You guys do not want to miss that video, so make sure, like Jeremiah said, go check out Empire Radio on YouTube, a Star Wars podcast, and also go over there. There's a lot of other stuff too. I do some unboxing videos that go up there as well. Also, reaction videos are up there as well, so you guys do not want to miss those at all. Yeah. Also, we have giveaways that are coming up very soon. Next week?
So next week we are announcing
our first
giveaway item, and then yep.
I tried. I don't know. Understand, but
yes. So it's going to be announced next week, and then you'll have a week to submit yourself for the contest to win that first item, which would be announced the week following. And so just keep that in mind. So if you're looking to win these items, you got to start right away. So you got to pay attention to right when the episode gets released on Tuesday night or the Wednesday or whatever. You got to quickly go submit your contest submission so you can enter to win, because if you're behind on episodes and you're catching up, you're going to miss them. So if you're listening to this now, you got time right now to prepare yourself for these giveaways. And so we'll be doing 5 giveaways, 4 giveaways, 5 giveaways. 5 giveaways. And so keep your eye on those. We'll be doing those for 5 straight weeks or whatever it is. And so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. So keep that in mind as you're listening for the next month and a half or so.
Yes. All right. Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, you've been listening to another epic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Drew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Andrew. And may the force be with you.
Always.